Another short project tonight. I'm going to remove the furnace, the little propane fired furnace from the unit. It is pretty bad inside and it uses propane and power, so I'd prefer that it had one source of energy. So I'm going to install a small electric heater instead with a thermostat, and actually I have it right here, and I've been using this little guy for the last few nights, and actually the places are so small and so well insulated that it heats up the whole place in a matter of 30 minutes or so. So anyways, I believe it's connected on the outside only. I couldn't find any bolts on the bottom that hold it in place, so I'm going to take off the cover in a minute. You just have to disconnect the gas and disconnect the electricity, and then we'll take a look again in a minute. So you pop the cover off, turn in that one screw, and what you have is your squirrel cage fan. There's your gas line coming in, pilot line, and then your gas line on the outside, and power coming in over here. And I'm just going to disconnect those and disconnect this gas line, and then I'm going to go outside and see what exactly is holding this in. I couldn't find any screws in the bottom. It looks like this may have been out before, because that doesn't look like the original box it's sitting on. So maybe some water damage. I don't really see any water damage around it, but we'll find out shortly. Okay, gas line's disconnected, power lines are cut. And I shouldn't have to tell anyone that they have to make sure you turn off the propane before you start disconnecting propane lines. In the closet above the heater in my RV is a shelf that comes out so you can access the top of it. There's not really anything to see in there. There's a little moisture on top of it, but I pressure washed the outside the other day, so it's probably still wet from that, and there was some insulation in there as well. But now I'm going to go outside and have a look out there. So I believe these just hold the faceplate on, and these hold the furnace to that faceplate. So I'm going to start by taking off the inner ring of screws and see if it just pulls out from the inside. I'd like to keep the reason I'm going to keep the faceplate on there, and just because it's easier than fabricating something to put over it, and the furnace isn't worth saving, so we're just going to junk that. The short answer is no. The cover has to come off, and it has to be pulled out from the outside. It's dark. Apparently my camera's little light works for shooting video. I guess I've never done that before. Anyhow, okay, so you're just looking right through at the burner assemblies. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be using this anyways. It looks pretty stinking rough. I'm gonna have to check and see if I've actually got water penetrating or not. We'll look at that later. Right now I just want to get it out. It's getting a little late, so I don't see any screws. They never were. Oh, that's just from the cover plate. So the cover plate was actually holding it in, but it has to come out through the outside because there's a flange. And so just so you know, and this black tarry, the black sealant here was pretty miserable. I don't know if that's original or not. I can't tell if this has been out or off or not. So anyways, I'm gonna yank it. I think I'm gonna be able to just yank it out of here now. So there you go. It's just gonna pull right out. Alright, well, it's out of there, and that could be the original box. It was a Coleman. It's a green box, and I'm noticing that some of the stuff is put together kind of handyman-like, even the original stuff, so it's very possible it was original. And no, I don't see any water damage. No water was coming in. It was getting into the furnace through the vents, and that may... condensation. It's been doing it for 50 years, so... And that's going to be it for tonight. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.